So you got high blood pressure and you want to know, how do you reduce your high blood pressure naturally? In this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways to do so. Let's do this. Hey Keto Camper, Ben Azadi here, certified functional health practitioner, best-selling author, and I am on a mission to educate 1 billion people. I'm grateful that you're with me today. High blood pressure is so common. 1 out of 3 US adults have hypertension, have high blood pressure. Here's the bad thing about it, because when you don't get high blood pressure under control, eventually it leads to nasty things. So it increases your chances of stroke, kidney disease, and even cancer. Yikes. The way the conventional medicine treats high blood pressure is with a pill or several pills. And here's the truth. There is not one pill that has been proven to reverse high blood pressure. But I'm going to give you 3 ways to do it without the pill in this video. The way conventional medicine works is a pill for every ill, and they're treating symptoms. High blood pressure is the symptom. It's the effect of a cause. So what we're going to talk about in this video is the cause. Just treating the symptoms, it's like that old whack-a-mole game. If you have kids and you've been to the arcade, you get that toy hammer and a mole pops up, which is a symptom. Maybe it's high blood pressure, and they give you a pill, which is that hammer. You whack that mole, and temporarily you feel good. The mole's gone, but what happens? Another symptom pops up. Stroke, kidney disease, cancer, and it's just never-ending game of chasing moles. So we're not all about that, because we're geniuses here. Albert Einstein said it best. Intellectuals solve problems, conventional doctors. Geniuses prevent them. So in this video, when you're done with this video, you're going to be empowered to be a genius. Now, a question I get asked all the time, does the keto diet cause high blood pressure, or can I follow a keto diet with high blood pressure? Let's explain what is the cause of high blood pressure, and you'll have your answer. The root cause of high blood pressure is excessive insulin, so too much insulin for too long periods of time, which leads to inflammation. It's the chicken or the egg. Was it the inflammation that caused the high insulin, or was the high insulin that caused the inflammation? It doesn't matter. This is the root cause of high blood pressure. So then the question is asked, doesn't a keto diet, a healthy keto diet, lower insulin? The answer is yes. So my first tip for you today is to eat a healthy keto diet. There's a big difference here. I'm going to distinguish between healthy and unhealthy keto, dirty keto and clean keto. Let's talk about dirty keto. This will not help you reverse your high blood pressure, and it might make things worse. If you're having any of these items on your keto diet right now, it needs to switch to the items on the right. Vegetable oils, canola, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, even peanut oil. These are toxic industrial seed oils that we want to avoid. They create massive amounts of inflammation, and they make insulin resistance worse, which makes your high blood pressure go even higher. Table salt, okay? Table salt's not good for you. Pasteurized dairy, milk and cheese, that for a lot of people is inflammatory, so we want to avoid that, at least until you start getting better with your high blood pressure. Farmed fish has been known to have high levels of PCBs, which are carcinogenic, create inflammation. We want to avoid farmed fish. And non-organic meats, so beef and chicken and pork that have been pumped full of hormones and antibiotics and fed corn, GMO corn, that's not going to help you with your blood pressure. So if you're eating any of these, put them aside, and let's switch over to healthy keto. Healthy keto, this is just a short list here. I have much more in my Keto Kickstart guide. I have a full list of healthy keto foods versus unhealthy keto foods, and you could get that guide over at www.ketokickstartguide.com. Also, this channel has a lot more information on healthy keto versus dirty keto. So avocados are great, and I'm going to give you another reason why you want to have avocados later in this video. Avocado oil, coconut oil, 100% grass-fed beef, so we want to make sure it's grass-fed and grass-finished. Some good resources for you are ButcherBox and uswellnessmeats.com. Bone broth. I love Kettle and Fire bone broth. I made a video, my top 5 anti-inflammatory foods, and guess what? Bone broth was on there. So was coconut oil, and there was 3 others that you got to watch that video. If you want to learn more about that video, click the little eye at the top here, and you could see a drop-down menu, and you could watch that video. I will also put it down below in the notes. Olives and olive oil. I love it. Raw dairy, okay? So dairy is okay. If it's raw, most people could could deal with that. Wild caught fish and sea salt. There's a lot more that I could put on this list. Go get my Keto Kickstart guide. But the point is this: high insulin and high blood pressure, they go hand in hand. So when you tackle the high insulin by going on a keto, healthy keto diet, by default, your blood pressure will optimize. I'll give you an example of a client who came to me a couple of years ago who is a popular radio show host, and he was having debilitating migraines and taking 3 medications for his high blood pressure. It was so bad that he would have to leave his radio show every morning just to go home and take a nap. And he called me and he explained what he was eating, and we put him into healthy ketosis. Within 30 days of getting him into healthy keto and following these 3 tips that I'm gonna outline the other 2 for you, he was able to be migraine free, and he ditched all 3 of his medications, okay? And he worked with his doctor. If you're on medication, don't just ditch it without talking to your doctor. But it works. If you follow these tips, it will work. So you have the first one down pat. Let's move on to the final 2. Hey, and before I do, if that first tip was helpful with healthy keto versus dirty keto, give me a like on this video. It really helps the YouTube algorithm out. Number 2, master stress and sleep. Notice I didn't put manage, master. When you are stressed out, guess what happens? You're raising your cortisol. And when cortisol goes up, insulin goes up with it. And I just explained to you that when insulin is up, your high blood pressure will not get better. So I'm gonna give you some tips here on how you can master your stress and then master your sleep. So here are 5 ways for you to master your stress. You could choose all 5, or you could choose 1 or 2 out of this list. The more you put into it, the more you'll get. Meditation, simply taking 10 to 20 minutes a day meditating, and that could be whatever your form of meditation is. There's great apps out there like Headspace and Insight Timer and Oak, or you could just sit down in a chair and observe your breath. But having some form of meditation has been proven. Studies show it helps lower cortisol, which will help with your insulin. Daily walks are great. If you have a dog, or even if you don't, go for a daily walk, 10 to 15 minutes twice per day. It has been known to help regulate cortisol levels and help with your stress. Grounding. I made a video all about grounding. Grounding is so powerful to bring down inflammation, which we talked about. It's linked to your high blood pressure. So if you can bring down inflammation by walking barefoot on Mother Earth, you're going to notice a big difference in your inflammatory markers. So if you want to learn more about grounding, I made a video all about that. You could click this link right here, and I'll put a link for it down below. Gratitude. I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest healers that we have in this world. Get into the habit of writing down what you're grateful for, especially at those moments that you feel stressed out. Grab a pen and paper, write down what you're grateful for. You're immediately gonna feel a shift in your energy and in your stress. And then lastly, laughter. That could mean hanging out with some friends that crack you up, or putting on a show or a comedian on Netflix or YouTube. But get the oxytocin going, those feel-good neurochemicals going. Laughter has been shown and proven to really combat stress levels. And then also sleep, because you could be doing all this, but if your sleep is crap, all these won't work the way you want it to work. Poor sleep raises blood pressure because what? What does it do? It raises your cortisol levels. When you are lacking quality sleep, you have chronic levels, increased levels of cortisol. And when you have increased levels of cortisol, insulin is also up and your blood pressure will get worse. Sleep is very important. I wrote a book all about sleep called The Power of Sleep. It's on Amazon. If you want to get it today, I'll put a link for it down below. But I'll give you a couple of tips right now that you could start doing tonight. Make sure your bedroom is cold and dark. Studies show 62 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature you want for good quality deep sleep. And the darker that room could be, the better. Pretend like you're going into a 3-month hibernation or something. Also, taking a hot or warm shower about an hour before bed and then going into that cold room helps calm you down. And then my favorite tip here that a lot of people love is banana tea. Banana tea is great. You just take a whole banana, you leave the peel on, you cut the ends off of that banana, and it turns out that banana, the peel, has more of these micronutrients, potassium, magnesium, that help relax you and get you ready for bed. So you cut the ends off that banana, you leave the peel on, and you boil it with water for about 5 minutes, pour it into a cup, you drink it. I call it nature's NyQuil. So go ahead and try those 3 sleeping tips out, and that will help master your stress, master your sleep. So let's move on to the final tip I'm gonna give you here for 3 ways to naturally reduce your high blood pressure. It's clear, the studies show if you optimize your potassium and magnesium levels, you are going to lower your blood pressure. Numerous study after study shows that this is a powerful way to do so, and I'll put all those studies down below for you to read. And here's the deal. You want to load your plate, your keto, delicious, healthy fat plate with green leafy vegetables. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, arugula, avocados, which I mentioned earlier, are loaded with potassium. And when you have adequate amounts of potassium, it's going to help lower your blood pressure naturally. And there's other healthy green leafy vegetables you could have with your keto diet. I actually have a video, my top 5 keto vegetables that you could eat all the time. You can view that by clicking up above and watching the video in the notes below. But add that to your plate. It's gonna really optimize your potassium and magnesium levels. And that's important if you're doing keto, because when you transition and you're following a keto diet, naturally you're gonna lose a lot of water weight. And with the water weight goes a lot of these electrolytes, potassium and magnesium. So you wanna replenish it with something that's gonna surprise you here, but high quality salt. Okay, salt, high quality sea salt will not make your blood pressure go up. And if you wanna learn more about it, check out the book called The Salt Fix. It goes deep into it. I'll put a link for that down below. Sodium is very important. We need sodium to function at a high level. So when you transition to healthy keto, you're gonna lose a lot of sodium naturally. So you wanna replenish it with high quality sea salt. It will not make your high blood pressure worse. It will make it better. Now, I'm not talking about table salt here. I mentioned earlier that table salt was the bad stuff. You could also supplement with potassium and magnesium. I do so myself, and I'll put a link for my favorite potassium and magnesium supplement down below. But there you have it. Those are your 3 ways to reverse high blood pressure and optimize your blood pressure levels. Number 1, healthy keto. Number 2, master stress, master sleep. And number 3, optimize your potassium and magnesium levels. I'm telling you what, if you go all in with this, in the next 30 days, you're gonna be commenting on this video saying, oh my God, I feel so much better. And maybe, potentially, you could be even getting off of your medication. If this video was helpful for you, please take a second right now to hit the like button. If you are not subscribed to the Keto Camp YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and the bell. We're releasing 5 brand new videos every single week. We are the go-to resource for all things keto, fasting, performance, and longevity. I want to get to the YouTube comment of the day here. This comes from Bonnie Bonaducci. Sitting here watching this for the 4th time now, drinking a steaming cup of purity coffee. I made it with distilled water. I love it. I now make my food decisions keeping in mind the wisdom, let food be thy medicine. I lost 115 pounds using whole foods, keto, and fasting, and I'm embarking on a 21-day water and coffee fast. Life is good. You are incredible, Bonnie. That's amazing. Congratulations on those results, on your upcoming 21-day water fast. And she's referring to the video of the interview I had with Andrew Salisbury, the founder of Purity Coffee. I'll link that up in the notes and in the button over here. Go watch that interview. It's gonna blow your mind, the benefits of coffee. Well, I'm grateful that you made it to the end of this video. Please let me know, what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest aha moment from this video, from these 3 tips? Put it down below and you'll see me on the next video.